So it's noontime. We're going to start, and I'm going to monitor the chat room. Kim, if you want to, let me introduce Kim, and I'm going to, we still have people signing in, so I'm just going to, I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So I either have to look at the waiting room or talk to you. So I don't want people dangling. Kim Greer, our former president of our board, stepped down to be our project manager for this really exciting grant that we got from NCOA, National Council on Aging. And part of the grant was to subgrant to our villages. So this is an information session we're having. We will have a second one on July 20th. And if there's needed, we don't mind putting one more in if we need to. So without further ado, I'm going to have Kim take over, and if we can go around the room and just say who we are and who we're representing as far as the village.
And hi, everybody. And I will start with that going to the left from my video screen here. So first we have folks at home. Say hi.
Yeah, hi, folks. My name is Wal Wofford. I'm the director of Folks at Home. We are in Sewanee, Tennessee, in our 13th year of operation, and happy to be joining you. I'm joined by my colleague, Mercedes Ingalls, who can introduce herself.
Great. Joyce Wenger.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joyce Wenger, the president of our board of Rep at Home. We're a village in rural Rappahannock County, Virginia, up against Shenandoah National Park. And we have been in existence for about 8 years.
Great, thank you. Let's see, Emily's iPhone.
Your name just came up. Hi, this is Frank from Alvin's Outreach in Morrisville, Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia. We've been in existence for 20 years.
Wonderful, thank you. Pat Singleton.
That's me. I'm also from Ivan's Outreach Center.
Great. Let's see, Donald Wiggins.
Hi, I am the executive director for Village Connections in Columbus, Ohio, and we are beginning year 11.
Excellent. Thank you. L.J. Bayless, Community. You're still muted?
There
you
Hi. I'm Lynn Bayless, Director of Community Connections at Findlay Lake. We are in our 10th year, and we are located in Findlay Lake, New York.
Lovely, thank you.
Not yet.
Ellen Steele.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ellen Steele with Willow Village, which represents 2 suburbs of Portland, Oregon.
Ooh, great, welcome. Sandy Friedman.
Sorry, took me a while to click on that mute button.
Morning.
I'm Sandy. I'm with Mount Vernon at Home, and we have been around since 2007, so going into 16 years.
Cool. Lorraine Keeney.
Good morning. I'm with the Village Common of Rhode Island, the statewide network, and we started with the Providence Village in 2015. Good to be here.
Lovely. Thank you. Karen Northcutt.
Good morning, Karen Northcutt. We're still in formation, but we're out in Kern River Valley in the Lake Isabella area, and we're close to being a real thing, but we're not quite there yet, but it's happening.
Awesome.
Where is Lake Isabella?
It's about 45 minutes northeast of Bakersfield. We're up in the mountains in a very rural area between the San Joaquin Valley and the Mojave Desert.
Okay, state?
California. Sorry.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I thought Bakersfield might be a clue. No, sorry.
Tiara Rains.
Hey everybody, I am with Cadre East Point. We are out of Georgia. We are down in the South, similar to Karen. We are gearing up. We plan to really lunch come October, but it's glad to see everyone, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Terry McKenzie.
Good morning. I'm Terry. I'm calling in from Portland, Oregon too.
Woo.
And I'm gonna be off screen because I'm gonna eat my breakfast while it's happening.
You got to do what you got to do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mercedes Ingalls. I know you're with somebody else there. Okay.
Yes, hello everyone, also with folks at home here in Sewanee, Tennessee.
And I think Margaret might be, oh no, there's a couple more joining in. Margaret. Okay, let me move on. Mercedes, Chevy Chase at home.
Hello. I'm sorry, I missed the beginning of the meeting. I was waiting to be, entered. So did you want me to introduce myself or were
Let me
you?
just say hi and where you're from and
Oh.
your village.
Hello. I'm Jennifer Reich. I'm the executive director of Chevy Chase at Home. Good to be here.
Thank you. Jean Como. I see Bill Kincaid just popped on, but let's move to Lucas Livingstone.
Oh, hi, everybody. Yeah, Lucas Livingston. I'm the director of Chicago High Park Village, south side of Chicago. Active for about 10 years. Thanks.
Thank you. Bill.
Bill Kincaid, board member of Village to Village Network.
And I think, is that everybody? Did I miss anyone?
Hi, this is Jean Como. I'm sorry, I lost the connection.
There you are.
And I'm with Low Link. You may have had others from Low Link already, but we're in Central Virginia.
Great. I don't think we have, so welcome. And did I miss anybody at all? Patricia Matthews, who was waving at me.
Yes. Hi, I'm Pat Matthews, and I'm from the Village of Tacoma Park, the president of the village.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Also, Frank Walter.
I think he already said hello.
Yes, I said hello.
Oh, I missed it. Okay, or I didn't put the note. Okay, yeah, Pennsylvania. Sorry.
One thing at a time.
Somebody else came in the middle and I'm trying to think of who it was. Well, must have been a big lie. I don't know. See, I was trying to keep track and I got to do a shout out. Donald, congratulations on Home Instead Charities. You're muted.
There we go. Thanks. We're doing well and I anticipate we're going to make our goal today. So yay.
Good.
Congratulations. Excellent. All right, Kim, take it away.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. At any time that you have a question, please put it into the chat box. We might not get to it right away, but as you think of it, or write it down to ask later. There's few enough of us on here that we can unmute and ask questions specifically. So basically what I'm going to do is I've got a PowerPoint just to start with where the money came from and what we want you to do with the money and how to apply. So I am going to share my screen. Okay. All right. So the grant that we got from NCOA is called Empowering Villages to Increase Vaccination Rates. And I can send all these slides to you, so don't worry about scribbling everything down. And we're also recording this. Increase vaccination rates through community engagement and education. So we've already done the welcome and introductions. I'm going to just talk a bit about, like I said, where the money came from NCOA and what their plan is. I'm going to go through our RFP that we put out, our request for proposal, and then answer any questions. So basically how we ended up with the money, VTVN, the Administration for Community Living, ACL, awarded the National Council on Aging, so NCOA, $50 million. The primary goal, period, increasing vaccinations among older adults and people with disabilities. That's it. That is the main goal. They want to see numbers of vaccinations and numbers of education events. So basically anything to increase vaccination among older adults and people with disabilities. NCOA then put out a competitive request for proposals. And when I put this slideshow together, there was 180 awards that they've made from their $50 million. VTVN, Capitol Hill Village, and Little Falls Village all received awards. And we received close to $150,000 for this. So what we're doing as VTVN is we've hired a contractor to create targeted marketing materials and brochures and a communications plan. Basically, what the Hannon Group is doing is they are going to be talking specifically with older adults and people with disabilities to say, here's some marketing we've created for getting a vaccination. Why would you listen to this? Why would you not? Does this, create interest in you getting a vaccination? And so they're going to be doing some very targeted marketing materials that's going to be shared with the entire network. We're also putting together a vaccination event implementation guide. Basically, if you as a village would like to hold a vaccination clinic, whether or not it's part of this grant or not, we're putting together a vaccination implementation guide step by step of, so you're thinking of holding a vaccination clinic. Here's the exact steps that you're going to go through or that you can follow to be able to put together a clinic for vaccines. The other part we're doing is awards to villages for vaccination events and education. That's why we're here today. And then we're also going to be involved in 2 promoted kickoff events where it's like, hey, this village is doing a great thing and we're going to come and, do press release and that kind of stuff. So this is what we're doing as a VTVN with the money that we got from NCOA. So for your purposes today, we have up to $2,000 per award. So this doesn't mean that you need to ask for the entire $2,000 if you don't think you're going to need it. Like it says in the RFP, we kind of like to get money to as many villages as possible to be helpful. But if you want to ask for the 200, wouldn't that be nice? 2,000, that's perfectly fine as well. The vaccinations include COVID-19 and flu, whether they're booster, whether they're whatever they come out with next. Those are the 2 main vaccinations that NCOA is interested in, but also they will count any other vaccination. So shingles, pneumonia, measles, mumps, whatever. They want to know numbers of vaccinations, period. The main goal, COVID-19, flu shots, people living with disabilities and older adults. If you do get an award from us, there is data reporting that we need to do to NCOA. It's relatively simple, but you just need to commit to attending one webinar like this where I'll review the data reporting that you need to do. It is not onerous. It is not going to take days and days to do. So the neat thing is, because I know there's a lot of smaller villages out there in different capacities and things like that, is even though they're talking about vaccination, the 3 categories that NCOA says you can do with this grant is a community vaccination event, in-home vaccinations, or general outreach and education. And I think that category is where you can get really creative and think about different things to do within your community. So you do not have to be holding a vaccination clinic to put in a proposal for this. NCOA also would like to target Black, Hispanic, Latino, LGBTQ, Asian Americans, and rural dwelling individuals. So if your proposal does say we're going to target this church specifically because we've been trying to get to know them and we'd like to hold a lunch and learn with them. So we need $250 to buy lunches. So that's the sort of thing where you can be creative and think about different outreach and education activities, of course, as well as holding a vaccination event or clinic. So in the RFP, we just threw down some different ideas. You can host a clinic, providing transportation to another vaccination site. So if your village is not holding a clinic, but the one just down the road is, you know, rent a van and use the award money to pay for the van to drive people down to, or however you do, you know, reimbursing volunteers, whatever, buying a gift card. Looking for a new community partner to work with, I think, is a really, really neat thing to do because this is also targeting people living with disabilities. So if you haven't reached out yet to your local Center for Independent Living or developmental disability group in your area, looking for a new community partner through this would be a great idea to partner, as well as then they get to learn about your village and what you're doing in the community. You can print educational flyers to go in home delivered meal packages. You know, whatever it is in your area that you think is going to be helpful, then, you know, put the idea down on paper because we are interested to see what you guys come up with. The data reporting, just to give you a short overview of, it's basically going to be non-identifying demographics. So if you put an ad in the local newspaper and it reaches 1,000 people, that counts as we have reached 1,000 people, and we can count that in our numbers. And of course, that's just, you know, you're taking a guess at that. Basically, NCOA wants to know the number of vaccinations given, the number of people attending an education event. If you refer somebody to another service through your village, that counts as a vaccination-ish, and they want to know that number as well. And if you assisted a village member with making an appointment, they'd like to count that. If you assist with transportation, they would like to count that as well. So again, this kind of gives you an idea that you don't have to just be vaccinating people to be part of this sub-grant. So proposals are due. We tried to keep what you had to fill out for the proposals really simple and easy because, you know, if you're just asking for $400, we don't want you to spend 3 days trying to work through a proposal. So July 28th is when the proposals are due. August 9th is when we'll be announcing the awards and the amounts. September is when the money will come out. December 31st, if you could have your projects completed by then, that would be great. But if not, you know, contact me and we'll talk about when it is going to be done by. The entire grant period for us ends March 31st, and that's when all of the final reporting needs to be completed. That's pretty much it. So we can go to questions. We can, yes, everybody will receive vaccination implementation guide. So
there's a couple other things that maybe we need to point out.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're going to say.
So obvious, the one thing that right across the board, all the grants, you cannot pay for vaccines. This cannot be money paid for. You cannot pay, you know, help somebody to get a vaccine and pay for it. So that's one. Two, because of the proposal, the way we did it, you have to be in network with V2V. You have to be a member in good standing of Village to Village Network in order to apply for this grant. So there's the two. Anything else, Kim?
There's two things the grant will not pay for, and you mentioned one, which is no vaccinations to be paid for, and not to pay for staff time either. We'd like the money to go directly to something tangible or you know, covering the cost of something for you. So what do you need to know? And anyone just unmute yourself if you have a question. The worksheet, that one-page thing and the one-page application form is all that you need to send in. You can bullet point the stuff on the worksheet. We don't need incredible detail of what you're going to be doing. It's, we're going to be holding a vaccination event. We're thinking it's going to be this date. Here's what we're thinking to use the money for. We need $800 for this. We're going to use $200 for this. So again, we're just trying to make this really streamlined and easier for not time consuming.
The other thing I will mention as far as Village to Village Network, we do have some members on our board that are with villages. They will not be reviewing any of the RFPs. We have independent board members that are not affiliated with any village, and they will be looking at all of the RFPs in a review process. Bill.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody for their interest in doing this. In one of my former careers, I was a local health officer. So it fell to me to make sure that the immunization rate in our community was fairly high. And this is a great opportunity to build on some of the efforts that a lot of the villages have already been involved in with COVID. Reaching out to people that have a hard time getting vaccinations, particularly during a pandemic, I think is no mean feat. And I think villages did a great job at doing this. So I think it's a great opportunity to basically improve your outreach, particularly to a group that might not be on your horizon, because it's sometimes hard to find people that are disabled. They don't get out much. They're not circulating as much as others. So I think it's a great way to find people that need these services and get them to a vaccination. The Medicaid population is a great opportunity for doing that. If there are community health centers in your area, they tend to serve people with Medicare and Medicaid. You might want to partner with them again to help with the outreach effort. But I think it's a great opportunity for villages to really look at not only COVID vaccinations and flu. There's going to be a new immunization available this fall. I think Magic Johnson is already on TV plugging RSV, and that is a virus that tends to affect the older population and the very younger population, so newborns. So immunizing grandparents is a great way to prevent the infection from affecting kids. So a lot of these things are going to be on the agenda, and again, we encourage you to get involved and do this kind of outreach and activity.
Joyce Wenger, I have a question. You mentioned that you would be generating some outreach and education materials yourself. How soon will those be available for us to use so that, for example, if we wanted to advertise our program, could we build on what you are developing already?
Yes, absolutely. The timeline for all of the marketing materials, which will also be available in Spanish, I believe, Barbara, is September 10th or 11th is
I believe it's early.
Yeah.
And our partner is a Maryland-based group, or a consultant, I should say, called the Hannon Group. So they're really on top of, we're super impressed with the materials that they've already come up with. And so they've been conducting interviews, and we'll be actually doing some more interviews with other villages. I think 7 or 8 more individual interviews. So look for that early September. The other thing I wanted to mention, and I'll get to the questions in the chat too, is, I've heard from a lot of villages. We have villages that are partnering. So if you have a village that you're adjacent to, if you're in the same city and let's say 2 of you want to get together, I saw 2 Portland group, do a combined, you're not going to get double the money, but you get double the exposure within the city. So it's a great way to reach out to a sister or brother village and, do that. Yes, I mean, if, Sandy, as far as, the shuttle, if you're renting transportation to get a group of people to vaccination, most certainly that is a great and inventive way, especially when people don't have the ability to, drive and they really need the transportation to the clinics.
So she won't be in need of.
And the other thing I will say, those of you that are in, Maryland, DC, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Giant is really a super partner. So really take that, that is a great, they're spearheading the actual clinics. So you might want to reach out to their corporate office. And I can get Doran from Little Falls. They had a little webinar on Monday, and the representative from Giant was there. But Giant's just a good example of where you can find a clinic and a local partner that would be willing, and all you have to do is do the outreach and get people to it.
And don't worry too much about the data collecting piece of does this count and does that count? Because I will be with you every step of the way to say, here, count everything and tell me the numbers, and we can sift through because if you rent a van and bring people to your event, that does not count as one tick for transportation. It only counts as one tick for the vaccination. If you rent a van and take them somewhere else, that all counts as, yes, they all count as transportation ticks. Don't worry about that piece of it. I will again be with you every step of the way to be like, not a problem. We got this.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
So, Barbara, you were talking about Giant. So I'm kind of struggling with who would be our partner out here. So is Giant like a chain? Like could we say,
oh,
we're going to get people to CVS or to Safeway?
Well, that's a good, so remind me, Ellen, where you are located?
Portland, Oregon.
Okay, so Giant is a big grocery chain. You guys have Safeway out there. They may have something similar. Giant also parent company is Stop and Shop. So you're covering the New England base. Those of you in Rhode Island, you know what? CVS is corporate headquarters is right there. Go have a conversation with them. There's, and don't forget, and I like the small mom and pop pharmacies. They're more than willing to, host a clinic. Your Department of Health, go talk to them and see if you can set up a clinic. They'll do all the work and you bring the people to your senior center or to the rec center or to the Y or just a community room at the library, something that you can organize community wide. I know that in Northern Virginia, Sarah's on the call, and I can't remember who else, Sandy. Vic, Ventures in Community. This is your faith-based, this is the outreach that to get, some of the marginalized neighbors that, are underserved or underreached. Kim.
Which actually brings up another point. Sorry to interrupt, Ellen. NCOA would also like to know if you've reached out to a new partner. That's another one of their tick boxes. So I found that very interesting. So if there's, if you want to put something into your proposal that says, we have not reached out to XYZ, we're going to give it a whirl on this and see what happens, put that in because that's something that NCOA is interested in knowing.
Thank you.
That was one of the parts that I thought was interesting is that if you did some community-based outreach to the faith community, that also would be something that would be acceptable under the.
Yeah. And I really appreciate that their grant is not just hold the clinic, hold the clinic, hold the clinic. That the education and outreach piece, I think for you guys is a really good thing in that it's not a huge event. It's something smaller you can do, or you can take people to the CVS, to the Giant, to the whatever, rent a school bus and put balloons all over it. Just anything. Anything legal.
I think that the Hannon Group materials also researched, the populations that really are hesitant to receive any vaccine. And so this is a good opportunity for that education outreach. And we're talking, some of the, lower income, but also Hispanic and African-American communities. We see low numbers in the vaccination rates. And so this is a great opportunity to, be a leader in the community. No other questions? Somebody in the chat, let's see. Nope. No other questions? This is pretty easy.
And my email, is my email in the RFP? Yeah. You've got my email and my phone number in the RFP. Call me and or text me and or email me with any questions you have at any time.
And the grant needs to be sent to the email. I'm sure it's in the RFP, grants@vtvnetwork.org. And I can put that in the chat. We'll send reminders out.
Yeah, it's on the page 2 of the RFP under timeline, email worksheet and application form to grants@vtvnetwork.org.
Okay.
Great. Well, go put your thinking caps on and come up with some creative stuff and partner and get to folks you haven't gotten to before, and they'll learn about the village process as well. So thanks for your interest.
And you say you're going to send all this out to us, all that you talked about today?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, terrific. Thank you all.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.